So this is module 2. Okay, this comes to module 2. What is the energetic outlook for 2023? Are you ready? Okay, 2023 is a water rabbit year. All right, water rabbit year, and in Chinese it's called 癸卯年, right? So it's a rabbit year, and the what do you call that? Metaphysically speaking, okay, the new year 2023 starts on 4th February 2023 Saturday, and that's where Li Chun starts. Li Chun means start of spring. Although in Amor Pai, the new year starts on 1st January, not wrong. Okay, the new year 2023 starts on 1st January, and then some more Oriental thinking, we think that it starts from 正月初一, okay, 正月初一, which is on the, I think, 20th January, right? This year is early, yeah. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Give me a minute. Okay, now, what do you think? What do you think? If let's say there's a 3-star rating for next year, how many stars do you think you give for next year? Your best guess. Your best guess. Okay, if say how you look at Tai Sui, do you need to be careful? All right. I will talk about that. Remind me if I forget to talk about Tai Sui. Yeah. Okay. Kok Kyong say 1. Okay, 1 star means no good. 3 star means very good. 1, 2, 3. How do you think you will score next year? Philip say if 2022 is 1, then 2023 is 2. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so right. So my assessment. Okay, my assessment. If say aim high 3, very good. Okay, my assessment. Like I say, don't believe a thing I say because I'm giving my assessment based on 3-star rating, and after considering the energies, how they play out in the new year, based on these few things. Where's my pen? Okay, based on these few things, number 1, based on the 24 solar terms. When I say 24 solar terms, mean the Li Chun, when is it? The Li Dong, when is it? The Dong Zhi, when is it? And where do they fall? When do they fall on? Is it on the Chu Yi, or is it on what kind of earthly branches, heavenly stem? All this plays a part. Okay, and then I also look at the heavenly stem, the lunar calendar also, the 地母经 Mother Earth Classic, and then last but not least, the I Ching ruling hexagram. Holistically speaking, putting them together, it gives me, okay, when I was reading the energy for next year, a very good overview how the energy is going to run for 2023. And based on that, I give it a 1 star. Not 0, okay, not 0, but 1 star. Okay. So I will explain. Okay, I will explain to you how I arrive at this 1 star. So you can disagree with me, but after hearing from me later on, let's ask again. Okay, is it really worth 1 star, or it could be upgraded to 2 star? We talk about that later on. Yeah. So Foreign say 3. Okay. Philip say I think maybe half year 2, then another half is 1.5 based on 地母经. Okay, very good. Philip say, but now we know how the year is going to be. We can make it 3 ourselves. Very good. Okay, very good. This is basically what we should be doing. Knowing is bad is one thing, but knowing there's always a brighter side, we should focus on the brighter side so that, like what Philip say, make it to 3. If say, what is Mother Earth Classic? You never teach, yeah? Yeah, I never teach because no need to teach. You go online, you type 地母经, blah, 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 all the text come out. And then you just read the text, and then make sense out of it. So nothing much to teach. Okay? All right. Now, before I go on further, let me make some disclaimer first. Anything that might be happening next year, we can classify them under 2 main categories. Number one is natural calamities. Natural calamities means like very heavy flood, tsunami, earthquake, landslides, all these things. I call it as natural calamities. So natural calamities, when the energy comes. That means you just the nature will just behave like how the energy behave. When it's time for heavy flood, heavy water, then flood and water is going to come. Okay, when it's time for typhoon, typhoon will come. This is called natural. Man-made disasters are disasters made by men. Can anyone help me here? Type in the chat box examples that you know that are man-made disasters. Type in the chat box. Thank you, Tin Seng. War. Thank you, Kok Kyong. War. So man-made disasters is man-made, and therefore it can be prevented. Remember this. Although later on when we see certain readings, as I share with you how the energies move, when it is regarding man-made, this can be prevented. Okay, it can be prevented. So just bear this in mind. Okay, so my assessment, I pin it down to 4 pieces of major information. Thank you, Eve. Pollution as well. Okay, thank you, Eve. But of course, if pollution from, for example, a massive volcano eruption, then I consider that as also natural calamities. But if pollution based on our exhaust from the car, from ships and all these things, or coal burning, then all these are man-made. Okay. Now back to this. I said holistically reading at the energy for next year, I've pinned down 4 major information about next year. Tin Seng say climate change. Okay, very good. So 4 pieces of major information. So this is what I'm going to share with you. Number 1. Okay, number 1. Where's my pen? Okay, number 1 here. All right. It's called One Dragon Control Water. Okay. Next year, the energy is there's only one dragon. Okay, basically every year we can look at how many dragon is controlling the water. So we can have as few as only 1 or as many as 12. Okay, but next year happen to be only 1 dragon control the water. We know dragon control water. Okay, so what's the difference between 1 dragon control water and then 5 dragon control water and then 12 dragon control water? You just take it like, I give you an example, a parallel. Let's say producing water or managing the water is like the work that you are assigned to do at your workplace. I mean your job scope. Okay. So this dragon has the job scope of managing the water. How much water to give, how much rain to give, or how less water to give. All this is the work, the JD of the dragon. Now, if there's only 1 dragon controlling the water, doing the job, then this dragon, all eyes will be on the dragon. Am I correct? If you're the only 1 person to do this important job, then all eyes will be on you. All your big bosses' eyes will be on you. So this dragon will do very fast. Okay, will do very fast. Of course, for us, if we are we are only the one doing the job, we also want to do fast so that we can rest more later on, right? So same thing with this dragon, 1 dragon, because he's the only one, he will want to do things fast so that he can rest for the rest of the year. So what happened here, meaning if this dragon will do fast, right? That means in a 1 year rainfall, right? He's going to compress it to say that, okay, I will spray as much water as possible for next year until finish so that I can rest for the rest of the year. So what it means here, basically, we can expect heavier rainfall in the first half of the year. Heavier rainfall because 1 dragon, this one Ji Xiao, this dragon, okay, like to do things fast one. And we may expect some hails at certain parts. I don't know whether you come to Singapore or not, but you find that, hey, how come first half of the year we can see hails in some parts of the world? Okay, so this could happen for next year in terms of weather. Like I say, natural calamities, natural disasters, and all these things, when the energy comes, it probably will come. Okay, so first half of the year, expect more heavier rainfall, and some parts of the world may have experienced hails, okay, hailstones. And then because it compressed the water for the first half, therefore the second half, we can expect no water at all. Suddenly, no water. Okay, when you see suddenly no water, that means, the kind of effect probably will be drought. Okay, drought, no rain, dry spell, something like that. Okay, so this is what we can expect from one dragon control water. If say how many dragon control water is good, okay, minimum 1, maximum 12. 12 cannot lah. 12, if you have many cooks preparing the porridge, I can tell you one expect the other to do. Am I correct? So in the end, nobody do the job. In the end, nobody do the job, then you'll be very jialat. Okay, so 1 is no good, 12 is no good, somewhere in the middle is good. 5, 6, 7. Or 5 dragon, 6 dragon, 7 dragon, probably good. Is that okay? If, right? But too bad next year is only 1 dragon. Okay, and this is what we might expect to happen in 2023. That's number 1 piece of information. Number 2, 1 farmland needs 10 ox to do the job. That's not that productive, right? The most productive is 1 farmland, 1 ox. 2 farmland, 2 ox. Get my point? Okay, so it's like the productivity portion here. 1 farmland, you need 10 people to do. So does it mean there's some farming crisis coming on for next year? I'm not too sure. Maybe because of this drought and this heavier rainfall, farmers have difficulties planting their crops. Even if they plant, it can go very bad because of the lopsided kind of element, a weather element. I don't know. I'm not farmer, so I don't know what they need. So there could be some farming crisis. So 1 farmland, 10 ox. That can also mean economy, right? Okay, for the same piece of thing, we need 10 people to push. If say, master, how do you know only 1 dragon? Is there a book to check? How to check that? Very good question. Now, people always say, 一年之计在于春. Okay, 一年之计在于春. Basically, what it means, if you want to know what's the outlook for the entire year, you look at the 春, mean the spring. Okay, the spring. If the spring is lousy, the entire year is lousy. If the spring is super good, the entire year is super good. So what I did for this seminar and for you this round is I read the spring. Okay, I read the spring. And from the spring, that's where I came out with this 1 dragon control water. Not that I came out, there's certain techniques to go and derive how many dragon, how many ox that you need, things like that. Okay, Philip say 假了 B. 假了 B, Okay, very good. So if say how to see the spring is good or lousy, that one we need a workshop to discuss about that, to teach you this, how to read the spring. Okay, so this seminar is only 3 hours. I can't probably bring on all the concepts and all the the heavy lifting things. So I summarize everything, I convert it, summarize everything, and then show you what it means in 4 major information. So I've shared with you 2 already. Number 3. Oh, please conduct. Okay, okay. All right, Ken. Okay. Third piece of information. This is a bit sad. 7 people share 1 biscuit. If you have insights based on what I'm sharing here, do type in the chat box because you may see something, you may sense something that I don't. Okay, so if you have insights, do share in the chat box so that the whole class can learn also. So what I'm saying next year is that 7 people share 1 biscuit. Okay, that sounds bad, right? Okay, so how many people 1 people share biscuit, 2 people share biscuit, 3 people share 1 biscuit, all the way up to 10 people share 1 biscuit. Next year, it is 7 people share 1 biscuit. Tough or not? That means for piece of work, people chew. Okay, people chew. Right? So there could be food shortage. There could be famine. It basically means economy could be pretty bad. Okay, economy could be pretty bad. Yeah. That is the third piece of information. Now, I'm not trying to scare tactic to tell you all the negative thing. I'm not trying to be negative also. Like that's not what we mentioned. Once we know what could be coming, then how can we prepare ourselves for the new year? Okay. All right. So this is the third piece of information. The fourth piece of information is it's harder for wealth creation. Okay. So does it mean that we can expect hyperinflation next year? Okay. So if say next year cannot resign, yeah, I don't recommend you to resign. If you have an iron rice bowl, at least stay for one more year. You know what's iron rice bowl? That means in the stat board lah, in the civil service lah, minimally stay for one more year. You look at Twitter, you look at Meta, you look at Amazon, they are already planning to let go of people, or some already did let go already. Okay, what I know, Amazon was planning their layoff into next year. Okay, so if you already have a job, steady job, you're in the iron rice bowl industry, don't come out first. Is that okay? Investment, you have to have hawk eyes. You need to know your stuff about investment. I don't, okay, because I don't play, so I don't really follow. So I don't know when is a good time. But if you can see the economy is bad, that means there could be some cheap sale going on for some good stocks. You get my point? Philip said time to buy asset. Good point, yeah. But time to buy asset if it's on a loan, then with inflation means interest rate might go up. Okay, so that is a trade-off, right? Okay, so this is the four piece of summarized information regarding next year. Okay. Now look at 地母金. Philip say interest rate go up, rent also go up. Good point. Rent also go up. Okay. My rental went up many times this year. So lucky for me also lah. Okay, long-term price will also go up. Thank you very much. So if you are already too tight on your loan, that means your debt, what do you call that? Your debt ratio is very high, then probably you may want to reconsider because interest rate is going to go up. Okay, but you have loose cash, why not? Okay, next, look at this 地母经. 地母经 very long verse, very long verse, but I just highlight the two verse for you. Okay, which is highlighted already. It's called 春夏雨报多，秋来缺雨水. Isn't this what we discussed just now? Okay, so 春夏雨报多 means the first half of the year, expect more rain, expect maybe hailstone. 报 means the hailstone. And then 秋来缺雨水 means the second half is going to be lack of water, probably dry spell, probably drought. Some parts of the country. Singapore, I hope not, but Singapore, we have one reservoir in Malaysia, right? So hope that reservoir is okay. Okay, next, the next line, highlighted line is 人民多疾病，六处张燕起. So 人民多疾病 means this COVID is going to still be there. It may be COVID, it could be some other mutated variant, it could be some other viruses as well. But I think it should be okay because what we should be concerned of is more of economy next year. Okay, so 六处张燕起 means probably mad cow disease lah, or the pig swine disease lah, all these things might come up also. So let me see. Philip say last year you said reduce debt, next year come in handy. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Philip. You remember what I said, If say next year need to 生生化, what is 生生化 law? What is 生生化? Okay, so this is what 地母经 says. It seems to blend in quite well with just now the four pieces of major information. Next. Kok Kyong said the 6 Bs could also refer to assets, since in ancient China they are considered as assets. Very good, Kok Kyong. Good point, good point. Good point. This 六处张燕起 means the assets. Okay, very good point, Kok Kyong. Yeah, so it's good that you all also contribute your opinions and your insights. So next year, asset owning, it's going to be upheaval like crypto like that. Okay, let's Move on. Next year, how many of you do you know, or how many of you know that next year is 双春年? Anybody know next year is a 双春年? That means double spring year. Anyone knows that? No? Okay. Now let me explain. Not 2 CNY, but 2 Li Chun. Okay, 2 Li Chun. Remember, just now I mentioned Li Chun start on 4th February. So next year, we're going to experience 2 Li Chun. Okay, what I mean, Philip says 6 asset means stock, fixed income, property, alternative, cash, commodities. Very good. Thank you, Philip, for sharing your what 6 asset could be. Okay, in our current context now, it could be stocks, fixed income, property, alternative, cash, commodities. Look out for this. It's going to go upheaval. Okay, topsy-turvy. That's like crypto for this year. Okay, now look at this chart below here. We know next year the 正月初一, right? The Lunar New Year starts on 22nd January. Okay, and then 2024, the New Year 初一, 正月初一, starts on 10 February. So in between this full year, full lunar year, there's actually 2 Li Chun here. There's 2 Li Chun. So therefore, next year is considered within one lunar year, there are 2 Li Chun. So it's called a Shuang Chun, a double spring. Okay, get that? Double spring. At the same time, okay, at the same time, it is also a 闰2月. That means there is a big February, 2月, big 2月大 and 2月小. Okay, so there is something like a leap month. Okay, like a leap month. So that is in February. So next year is a bit special, a special year. It's called 双春闰2月. Okay, so next year, if you hear their masters or old folks, or maybe your grannies telling you, oh, next year is going to be a 双春闰2月, at least now you know what it means. Okay, but energy-wise, what is it trying to tell us is another thing which I'm about to share with you. Okay, Philip says Fu Ying symbolism very strong. Very good. Okay, very good. Thanks, Philip. If say, then it's good what, Master? 2 Li Chun, the spring is not so lousy. Why only one dragon? Okay, now, good point. I have thought about that also. Okay, I've thought about that. But then when I think back about, when my old folks keep telling me last time, double spring is no good. Okay, double spring is no good. I was thinking, why they say double spring is no good? Okay, I thought double spring is good, right? Like what if say what double spring is good. So what do you think? Type in the chat box. What do you think? Double spring, is it good? 春 everybody loves 春 what? 两个春天 no good 吗? How do you feel? What do you think? Type in the chat box. Feel free to share. No right, no wrong. Like I say, some people feel that 双春 is good, but my old folks keep telling me 双春 no good. Paul said 2024 no chun, use up already. Okay, thank you very much, Paul. Very good point. If 2023 got 2 Li Chun, 2024 means no chun. That means we use advanced credit. Am I correct to say that? We use advanced credit. That's number 1 point. Very good. Kok Kyong say doesn't matter since metaphysics doesn't depend on lunar calendar. Okay, but it's 2 Li Chun. Now, 两个春天, what does it mean to you personally? Helen said 2024 poor growth. Okay, we'll talk about that when we come to 2024, right? So let us focus on 2023 first. But you have a point, Helen, 2024 poor growth. Now, when we say that, 那个人有两个春天, what does it mean? What does it mean to you personally? Philip say compete for resources. Yeah, 2024. Double happiness. And would you like double happiness? Pei say poor for marriages. Xiao San, thank you, Kun Yong, thank you. Pepe said divorce, widow, thank you. Second spring, second chance, very good. So got good, got bad lah. Those who wish for second chance, okay, then next year the second chance, okay. But those who already got their chance and it's still a good chance, then don't aim for second chance already. Darren say means got two girlfriend, very hard to choose, very good. Okay, so next year 讲到感情 is pretty messy because 都春. If say 春天里百花香, thank you, but there's now double 百花香, okay, double 百花香. You get my point, yeah? Okay, you get my point, yeah? Alan said everything done, finish, have to restart again. Okay, another good point. Okay, rekindling. Right, so you get my point about double chun. Now, old folks saying, because I recall back what my old folks was telling me all last time, many, when I was still young. Philip said deja vu feeling. Very good. 双春嘛, you relive again. Okay, usually 双春 means 春寒逢秋旱. Okay, 风寒逢秋旱, meaning spring is especially colder or maybe wetter. And then when it comes to autumn, it's especially drier. So doesn't it rhymes with what I mentioned just now about the first half more heavier rainfall, then second half less water, or in fact no water? So it rhymes. Okay, everything we put everything together, it seems to rhymes now. So we can expect a natural colder spring next year, which we call it as 反春. Okay, 反春, 反春. And then you can expect because the chun cannot properly turn over, therefore we can expect more sicknesses and it's probably affecting crops. So probably that's why we need 10 ox to go and plow one land. I don't know, maybe that makes sense, right? Probably that's why we need 10 ox to plow one land. Okay, so this is what it means. Next, Pepe say 姻缘 good for single, divorce, widow, but not good for existing marriages. Thank you, Pepe, for this insight. That's right. So if you're already happily married, okay, don't let your eyes roam around. Okay, basically this is what it means lah. Okay, now on 7 November, I think I made one post in the Facebook. I don't know how many of you observed the weather that day. Okay, 7 November was considered Li Dong, start of Li Dong. Okay, anyone observe the weather that day? If say why only one dragon? Okay, that one like say I need to conduct a workshop to explain how to see only one dragon or how to see only 12 dragon, things like that. Okay, but for now, next year, it seems to say there's only one dragon. Philip said, I think US and Australia, New Zealand will have weird weather patterns, affect corn yield, so corn price will be haywire, will worsen inflation. Okay, thank you, Philip. So if you're into commodities, you have a circle of competence in commodities, maybe in futures, I'm not too sure. Maybe if you know this information, how can it work in your favor? This is basically what we want to find out. This will be your own insights. Because I don't play commodities, I don't play futures, so I probably don't know how to play also. Even I have this information. But if you know, you are the expert in this area, then you may want to leverage on this piece of information. Okay. Philip says 7 November, 5 to 7 period, weather very bad. Okay, very, very bad. Yeah, indeed. If says 7 November, heavy rain in PM to evening, then stop. Very good. While raining, okay, while raining, do you hear anything? Do you hear anything? Do you hear thunder? Very loud thunder, not only once, but multiple times, spread over the whole evening. Okay, now there's a phrase in I Ching, it says that 立冬雷鸣主大灾. 立冬雷鸣, 雷鸣 means thunder, keep on drum, drum. 立冬雷鸣主大灾. 人寿灾殃五谷空. 立冬打雷要反春. Okay, so this is the phrase. So we need to also observe the weather because the weather is going to tell us a lot of things about the coming year, and this is one of them. Okay, so it seems to rhymes with the 4 major pieces of information that I shared with you just now. Okay, about the what I call that, the crops, about the commodities, and then because of all this, probably that's why 7 people have to share 1 biscuit. Okay, because of scarcity. Right now, since just now you all talk about 2024, some of you talk about 2024. Let's talk a little bit about 2024, which Paul has correctly pointed out. Since we use up 2024 Li Chun in 2023, it means that 2024 there won't be any Li Chun. That means no spring. Okay, that means no spring. Now, if there's no spring, because spring basically means 少阳. Okay, so there's something called the yin and yang, right? So even within yang, there is a 少阳 and 太阳. Okay, yin, there is a 少阴 and 太阴. Okay, the small yang and the big yang, the small yin and the big yin. So when there's no spring, it means that 2024, what we can expect is there's no 少阳. 少阳 means new birth, new young man energy. Okay, young man energy. So therefore, in 2024, young man 有点吃力啦. Maybe if you want to give birth, you probably don't have son, and you know it's very hard to get sons in 2024, something like this. Okay, something like this and then probably young man may be taken away, you know, in 2024. So therefore, olden time they call 2024 as a 寡妇年. Okay, 寡妇年. Darren can say the yin yang lai fu going to be weak to move. Very good, because the yin yang lai fu take place in 2023. Advanced credit. Okay, advanced credit. So therefore, when it comes to 2024, nothing. You use up already. You use up early in 2023. So there's nothing in 2024. Okay, so yes, you're correct, Darren. You say, but Li Tong is winter ma. We have two spring. Why next year no good? If I see 2024 is no good, cause no spring. Please advise. Okay, double spring. There are so many signs to tell us that next year is going to be a very challenging year. But I say, don't believe a thing I say, because I'm just reading out from my understanding of how the energy is going to play out for next year. Right? Based on the Li Tong, the thunder on Li Tong. Okay. Now, when we talk about natural weather, okay, it is always lagging 3 months behind. If you know what I mean. Okay, energies are lagging 3 months behind. So therefore, if things happen in winter, it's going to affect the next 3 months. I mean the spring. So if it, in terms of something happen in spring, it's going to affect in winter. So that's why TCM always tell us, if you don't take care of yourself in spring, you can experience sickness in summer. And if you don't take care of yourself in summer, we will fall sick in autumn. Something like that. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Okay. This is TCM. I think I got deviated already. So sorry. Okay. But this is how energy works. Is that okay? So therefore, if 2024 we can expect no spring, which means there is a lesser young, 少阳 energy, and which indirectly affects young men. So 2023, they call it as a solitary phoenix year, 孤鸾年. Old folks always call this kind of year 双春, called 孤鸾年. And therefore, when you say 孤鸾年, right, if you know that next year there won't be any young men, right? I mean, energetically speaking, okay, energetically speaking, if you know you marry in 2023, then 2024, no young man. So why don't you skip the marriage year? Okay, skip until 2025, you know, something like that. Then you get married, something like that. Okay, so that's why old folks keep saying if it's a 孤鸾年, not ideal for marriage. Which after reading this energy, it seems to make sense now. Okay, but I'm not sure about you. What do you think? What do you think? Because you may have different insights. Pepe say likely more baby girls born in 2023. Could be. Could be. Okay. So therefore, if it's a double happiness, double spring, it means that maybe, you know, if you are a widow, you may have a chance to remarry. Okay. Or you're divorced, you may have a chance to remarry. something like this. Get my point? So this is what it means by a 孤卵年. It's not very, it's don't take it 100% say it's a very lousy bad year and say that it's not for marriage. Okay, you have to read in context lah. Okay, you read in context lah. So you get my point? Everyone still with me? Any opinion so far? Type in the chat box. If say, is it due to Li Dong got thunder, so 2023 spring no good? This is how you see, master. This is only one piece of information. I don't use one piece of information to project like is the gospel truth for the entire year. I don't do that. So therefore, Li Dong is just one of a confirmation signal. Like when you play shares, right? When you look chart, you read the charts and things like that, you look for signals, right? And when there are more signals pointing you in the same direction, it tends to make you feel more confident that what you are thinking of, what's your insight about, could be more or less correct. Am I right to say that? For those who play shares, there are a lot of indicators that pointing in the same direction. Then, maybe it's time to sell, or maybe it's time to buy. Something like that. So I don't only rely on one piece of information. I use many. Is that okay? If and everyone else, Pepe say those. Wait. Pepe say those widow and divorced with no boyfriend or girlfriend suddenly can remarry. Maybe. Yes, Pepe. Okay, so for those, for example, widowed or divorcee, next year could be a good year if we talk about looking out for partners. Become suddenly the spring kind of energy suddenly become double strong. You get a point? So always look on the brighter side. Okay, look on the brighter side. So good point, Pepe. Good point. Darren say it may means more heavy burden loan for couples to take up HDB. If they're unable to face the adversity well, they're going to help us to improve the number of divorce or breakup. Thank you very much, Darren. Thank you very much. So it means there could be more divorce. There could be more, if let's say they don't go for divorce, there could be more family dispute. Okay, there could be more family dispute. That is why old folks keep saying that 孤卵年, right? If you can avoid marriage, avoid lah. So if say so important decision, do it on spring next year. What do you mean by important decision, do it on spring next year? Depending on what decision you are making, best way to do it, if it's important, life-changing decisions, cast a qua. And if you need to do it, okay, for example, shift house, whatever, start renovation, pick a good date to do it. Okay, pick a good date to do it. Okay, double spring, strong, young. Okay. You can say that, But I said personalize your energy better. That means pick a good date, personalize to your energy to do it would be even better and safer. Okay, and